All right, and now let's get into some gaming news. This guy's a bit of a clown, but at least he's on topic.
Woohoo! Yeah, boy! I sure do love the smell of hypocrisy in the morning, don't y'all? Look, I know I said y'all, I'm from the South. That's just how it goes down here. But do y'all remember a couple of weeks back how every games journalist was basically lambasting and poo-pooing all over the main character of Stellar Blade, saying how she's a specific object, or she regresses women back X amount of years, or all these horrible things and articles that were coming about, calling either gamers who like that kind of character model all kinds of words like incels and pejoratives and things like that. Remember that a couple of weeks back? I sure do. I made a couple of videos about it. In fact, it's fresh in the top of my mind. However, though, something came out the other day that really is going to show the actual hypocrisy of the games journalists and games media, or even just gamers themselves. Well, those who pretend to be gamers, let's be real. And the big reason why I'm talking about Stellar Blade is because the other day, a little game called Hades 2 released its playtest yesterday via invite only. And it turns out, well, exactly what I said, the hypocrisy of the gaming media is in full display. Because not only are the people who are involved in the playtest enjoying the game, they are also basically what you would be considered to be in horny jail over the characters of Hades 2. This isn't the first time it actually happened, though, because during Hades 1 development, and also even during the game coming out through its early access phase, many articles are written about all the characters that everybody wanted to bone and be with in the first Hades game. So now we have it again with Hades 2. Yet for some reason, it's okay when Hades does it, but it's not okay when Stellar Blade does it. I really wonder what the difference is. Truly, it's nothing in my opinion. And honestly, I would hope that at least gaming journalists would sort of
Maybe because Hades is like drawings and animated and shit, whereas Stellar Blade is a bit more realistic looking.
keep that same energy, wouldn't you? Because if you were pom-pawing yourself about how great you were as an ally, and were saying how horrible it is that Stellar Blade 2 is by its caricature of women, then I'm sure you would do the same exact thing for Hades, right? Right? Let's go ahead and expose some people, shall we? Games Radar, Hades 2 trailer has fans predictably horny. Yep, there it is. But let's keep going with Games Radar, though, because they had another actual banger that was published 18 hours ago. In less than 3 hours, Hades 2 new and returning characters have already put the entire fandom in horny jail. Yeah, we went from the trailer getting everybody horny to now, in less than 3 hours, there's already NSFW artwork of all the characters that were previous and in the new game as well for
Oh
Hades
wow.
2. Yet this, for some reason, is celebrated while Stellar Blade was not. I really wonder what the actual issue is. And honestly, you know what I think it is? It's very simple. It's called safe horny. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second, but let's keep going, shall we? Oh,
Oh,
look,
safe
it's our
horny.
own personal favorite Kotaku pointing out an article back in 2022 saying everyone's hot as hell in Hades 2, as they should be. Kotaku, of all people, happy about all the hot characters in Hades 2, but really angry about Stellar Blade's hot character. I wonder what the issue is.
Are
And
there
of course,
women
here is
in
someone
Hades too?
from The Gamer saying Hades 2 needs to be gayer than ever. It needs to be gayer than ever. Yes. Make it even more gay. Even if, you didn't realize that the whole point of Hades is that it's set in the Greek timeline and everybody was gay already and everybody was there for a good time, not a long time, but instead this is what you'd rather have, right? Great opinion piece, by the way, The Gamer. Great job on the clickbait, just as bad as Kotaku. And then The Gamer, again, with Hades 2 is already fixing the first game's biggest problem. I'm already impressed with Supergiant's commitment to improving body diversity in the Hades 2 technical test. And then VG247 with this actual banger. Somehow Hades 2, the new characters art, has left fans even hornier than the first game, and you can't really blame them. And honestly, this kind of hypocrisy is really what angers me the most. You see, in my opinion, like I said before, we are here as a human species for a good time. Not a long time. And honestly, playing a video game, even if it is for just a few minutes a day or even a couple of hours a day, and looking at something attractive is not a bad thing. Having a character like the one from Stellar Blade, Eve, the way she looks, is not a bad thing, especially being modeled after a real, actual live model, a real person. But then turning around and then using your place of power and position to basically talk down to anyone who finds that character attractive really is the worst thing about all of this. And have those same websites and those same people put out article after article about how horny they are over the characters of Hades 2 is even more insane, because not only are the characters of Hades 2 not real and they're just drawn, they're not even made after actual people. So what is even going on here? I said before and I'll say it again. It's what's called safe horny, or really yucking on someone's yum. Basically what happens is, on the internet, apparently, it is perfectly okay to crap on somebody if they want to find a woman attractive, if they're just a regular guy or anything like that, or even a girl could find Eve from Stellar Blade attractive. We've seen that happen before. Surprise, lesbians actually exist. Who knew? But then it's easy and fun to go ahead and make fun of those people and call them incels or call them virgins or say they never actually met a woman or make all kinds of fun of them and then do all these kinds of things, but then turn right around and then the second you see any character from Hades 2, you're going ahead and nutting all over yourself in excitement about the way this character looks and the way it's drawn. And really, that's a major issue that I have with all of this. If you're going
So the thing I'm getting from this is that, like, in the case of Hades too, it's like it's okay to be all horny and whatnot for drawn characters, but if there's characters that are realistic looking, then that's a problem. So people are allowed to do what they do with NSFW drawings of fake characters, but realistic looking characters, that's not allowed. The mental gymnastics of that.
going to be okay and going to be happy with the way the Hades 2 characters looks, and you're going to actually sit there and bark and woof and awoo all over the internet because of the way these characters are drawn, then it's perfectly okay to let somebody else bark a woof and a woo and act like a bunch of dogs for Eve's character in Stellar Blade. There really is no difference in the behavior. You're both acting like actual horny dogs. There's really no difference between the both of them. The thing is, you find it socially acceptable to make fun of the other people, while anybody that makes fun of you, you're just going to be like, oh no, it's okay, I'm part of the gaming media, or I'm going to make an article saying that it's perfectly fine, or I'm going to go ahead and be on Twitter and have all of my brony friends like my tweet, therefore the more likes I get, the more right I am, therefore you're wrong, haha. We had the same exact thing happen with Lady Dimitrescu, back when everybody was locked inside of their
Oh yeah.
What is this?
Well, you know how our T-Mobile home internet can slow down?
Uh-huh.
Turns out, walls can get in the way. So, I fixed it.
By smashing a hole through our wall.
Yes.
Don't settle for T-Mobile's
Hate
cell
these
phone
ads.
internet.
This is why I don't leave the house.
Get faster, more reliable internet speeds with Spectrum.
I just had a reaction to that too.
homes.
But yeah, I never really understood the appeal of Lady D. But like after a while of, like, realizing how people are, it's like, for some strange people like to be dominated, and I think that was the whole appeal of her, because she's like 7 feet tall, and they were all calling her mommy, and to me, I think that's just weird. I I don't see the appeal of calling a woman mommy unless they're an actual mother, and they have to be the mother of your child in order for you to call them mommy, and it's not even in a sexual sense. At least not to me. That's just the way I look at it. So I was like, I couldn't ever, like, I couldn't ever, like, say to any, or call any one woman mommy, that, like, in a sexual way. That's just weird, at least to me. And it's like, I'm also having a hard time comprehending men that like being dominated. Like, what?
everybody was super horny for her. There were people that were, there were people that weren't. But you couldn't go around Twitter for more than 15 seconds without finding a picture of her with somebody calling her mommy. And look, this is coming from a guy who loves Rhea Ripley. I think she's absolutely beautiful. I want her to put me in the Amazon position. I love muscle mommies. I love.
This guy is one of them. That can't be me. It's like, yes, I understand Rhea's appeal, but like to me, I find Rhea appealing in the sense of like her gothic type look, not the whole muscular woman look. Uh, it's like it's like an Amazonian thing. It sounds like some guys just want to be dominated. I guess it's like I don't understand that. It's like sure she's muscular. I don't find that too appealing. It's like it is what it is. I like her gothic look.
Futanari. What's the difference between that and liking Eve from Stellar Blade? There really isn't one. The difference is that people are going ahead and trying to take a political
Did
slant.
he say something about
Absolutely
Futanari?
beautiful. I want her to put me in the Amazon position. I love muscle mommies. I love Futanari. What's the difference between that and liking Eve from Stellar Blade? There really isn't one.
Okay.
The difference is that people are going ahead and trying to take a political slant on things, and because it doesn't fit your horny catalog checklist, therefore it is a bad thing. But the moment it fits your checklist of what you find attractive, it's perfectly fine and acceptable. And you can make fun of other people, but nobody can make fun of you. And if you think I'm just making things up, just type Hades 2 in the search bar of Twitter. You'll see. Here's Cade Green right there.
What?
Daddy, I mean Hephaestus from Hades 2 is so fucking hot. And it's just a fat guy with a missing leg. Yeah, he's so hot. 2,000 views, 120 likes. This is how we're going to do it, I get. Safe horny, like I said before. Here is Aquila saying the new god portraits in Hades 2 are so tasty. And of course, they're showing all the portraits for the gods in Hades 2. And it's got 2.5 million views and 52,000 likes. There's nothing wrong with liking these characters. What I find interesting is that there's so many people willing to see this tweet, agree with it, say it's perfectly fine, but that you can totally go back into any of those tweets from anybody else who likes this one and say, hey, why did you not like Stellar Blade's characters, but you're okay fawning for this one? You see how that works? Here's another one from Lee.
Yeah.
Hades 2 technical test has got me screaming in my room at 1 a.m. And then they post these two pictures of these two characters with 33,000 views and 2,000 likes. Imagine if anybody did this about Eve from Stellar Blade. What do you think would have happened to them? They would have been...
In this example, I think it's maybe because they're covered up and not really like showing anything. I don't know anything about Hades 2, but like I would assume both these are women and they both have like chest plates without really showing anything. So people find that acceptable?
chastised, ridiculed, and made fun of the entire time all over Twitter and the internet. Why is it okay for this, but not okay for that? As Z Trot says, new Hades 2 content is just dinner for bisexuals. And they post pictures of the game itself with almost 200,000 views and 8,000 likes. I could take them both. Just straight up all over Twitter.
And it's also funny that the like it's never a problem when like men are sexualized. It's like no one cares, but like if women are sexualized, then there's an issue.
I can take them both, not a big deal. And then just emojis of like, oh yes, I was not ready. Look, again, there's nothing wrong with enjoying characters and games and characters in games who you find attractive. Nothing wrong with that at all.
It's like the biggest one that makes the most sense is Aphrodite. It's like that one makes sense. I mean, first of all, she's the goddess of love and she's supposed to be sexy, so it's like that one makes sense to me. These other characters, I'm not really too sure. Or I don't understand.
Find completely hypocritical though is the fact that not a couple of weeks ago everybody thought Eve was attractive and they were made fun of.
But yeah. Again, going back to the Stellar Blade thing, you got Aphrodite like this who looks like she's not wearing anything, and it's just her hair that's covering her nipples. But like you have Stellar Blade who's yeah, Stellar Blade, Eve, whatever you want to say. You have Eve and those characters in Stellar Blade that are like fully clothed. It's just they're skin tight. But Aphrodite's literally wearing nothing. But this is Nani?
That's where I have the issue on this. Atelier Asu tweeted this out, actually, saying, seeing the new Hades 2 designs got me to insane, to be honest. And he says, in conclusion, I'm bi. Now look, it's not like I'm going to go through Twitter search history and type your screen name and then type Stellar Blade and then really just see tweets of you crapping all over Stellar Blade's main character design, right? I mean, you'd behave the exact same way for her as if you would for this, right? Right? Well, in fact, I did just that. Let's take a look together, shall we? Maybe I should actually try the Stellar Blade demo so I actually get to see something else other than the actual protagonist. But yeah, I don't really give a fuck about Stellar Blade anymore. If anything, I would wait for it to go on sale, and even then, probably not. Can anyone tell me the Stellar Blade gameplay is actually good? Because I've not heard a single thing about the actual gameplay yet. Stellar Blade looks really cool, but some of the outfits for the protagonists we've seen in the trailer were definitely interesting choices. What's that term? Cotton 4K? Cotton 8K? 16K? Yeah. Again, like I've shown before, it's perfectly okay to be horny if it falls under specific checklists or actual guidelines that the internet has agreed to being okay, but it's not okay to be horny for a character that is just normally attractive and naturally beautiful or even just made up that way.
Peacock is the exclusive streaming home of Oppenheimer, winner of 7 Academy Awards, including
In terms of just
Again, I think it kind of comes back to the thing of like drawings versus realism. For some reason, people are okay with drawings and like I guess animated designs that are like clearly animated, but like if something looks realistic, then there's
regular design for what would appeal to normal audiences. No, they have to be big, fat, obese, gross, or having missing legs or anything specific, or they have to be disabled in some way, in some really weird fetishized thing. Look, I'm not going to sit here and yuck on your yum, but the thing is you shouldn't do the same thing to anyone else either. As someone who would totally like many of the characters in Hades and also enjoys to want to look at someone like even Stellar Blade, I just want to look at attractive characters when I play video games. There's no reason or rhyme around it. I don't understand why for some reason it's okay when Hades does it because it fits your fetish check boxes, but it's not okay when even Stellar Blade does it because it doesn't fit those check boxes there. Again, like I've said before, it really is just showing the hypocrisy of not only the internet, but also gaming journalists as well. There should truly be nothing wrong with having attractive video game characters. If it falls into something you enjoy that you want to see, great. If it doesn't, great. It doesn't mean that you have to enjoy every single game the way it comes out to have it fit your specific individual mold. It just means that everybody else has got a specific kind of yum. So don't yuck it. And this just goes back to my original point about the entire
I like how he
conversation
puts
of
that.
Stellar Blade, SBI, and
The
etc.
yuck and yum thing.
Making actual characters in video games unattractive for no particular reason, even though it absolutely does impact the game directly. Because it doesn't matter who you are, you want something attractive to look at. Whether or not it fits your actual list of attractiveness is really just the individual thing. If you don't find that character attractive, then just don't play the video game, like you said before, right? But if you do find the character attractive and you want to play the game, then go for that too. But to sit there and say things like, oh, Stellar Blade is objectifying women, other games have done it better, Stellar Blade's not real, going into New York City and asking questions about actual people who don't play video games, whether or not they'd actually see that character before, and then just get caught live directly upon that. Hey, looking at you, my boy. Yeah, those are not things to do. What you should do instead is just enjoy the video game, perhaps. Maybe if you don't find that character attractive, then again, don't play that game. Or if you do, then go ahead.
I think you can break this down in like a couple of ways. It's like the way he's wording this is like I'm thinking of like some people are attracted to people and things whereas other people might have a different opinion and such. It's like I kind of take it as like you ever see like one of your friends or like someone on the street and sounds like that they have a girlfriend or a wife and sounds like you don't see the appeal in them or like they're like probably objectively not attractive, but that person is attracted to them and loves them and whatnot, but like you don't see it. that's probably a little bit different in the sense that with people in relationships, there's personalities that are involved, and it's like I can understand taking like an IG model who's like you know attractive pretty much to everyone across the board. So it's like she has a very high status because of her looks and whatnot. And then taking like a normal person you met at like the grocery store, and she's clearly not as attractive as some people might like find her ugly and whatnot. And but like you find her okay looking at first, and then you get to know them, know their personality, and you end up like loving them more and more, and then their looks uh end up not mattering to you as much, or it's like because you know them as a person, their looks keep on going up, so they look just as attractive as this IG model. So it's like they're about even, or maybe she's even higher. With game characters, I don't know. It's like you hold a picture of Eve and a picture of Aphrodite, I guess, in this example, and it's like which one did you find more appealing, or whatever. And so I was like, it's odd if you say you hate Eve, but you love Aphrodite. And it's like for what reason? Because Eve is too sexualized, but Aphrodite's wearing like nothing. She just has her hair covering her boobs. Like, huh? I I don't get it.
And play it either way. But the thing is this, everybody's trying to sit there and police someone else about what they should or shouldn't like. And that's really my issue about this entire thing. Game developers should be able to make whatever kinds of games they want, and they shouldn't have this outside weird input about things just because you want to go ahead and have a specific thing or have it tailored to what you think is going to be the right way of making a character attractive or even unattractive as well. Let the game designers make the game they want to make. And if they want to put like traditionally attractive people in there, that's their prerogative to do. And you shouldn't crap on them, and you shouldn't crap on the people who want to enjoy that kind of content. The same way that if Supergiant makes a game that is tailored to what you want to see and what you find attractive, they shouldn't crap on you either. The thing is, everybody tries to have a moral high ground about things, and really, that's the wrong way to look at this. What we should do instead is have the right high ground of, look, everybody's horny and everybody's trying to get a nut. So why not just let people just get that nut? Seems fine to me, right? But ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Are you guys going to play Hades 2? Are you guys going to play Stellar Blade? And do you really think about this entire hypocrisy thing with Hades?
I mean, he makes sense as like if people we should we should come from come at it from the viewpoint of everyone wants a nut, just let them get their nut. When does Hades 2 even come out? Uh, type it right. Badass fingers. Plan release date to be announced. Sign up for the Hades 2 technical test. That was 3 days ago. Quest access and you'll get coverage. Or maybe it's big because like in the gameplay is like you can't really see the characters that well. Whereas in Stellar Blade, clearly Eve is fully detailed. You can see everything. Um, sh- uh, Hades 2. They took. Let's see. Hades 2 was first revealed at Game Awards 22. Its release date is currently unknown, but players will be their hands on it for. The original version of Hades was globally 2 years after its come out, 2025. After its early. Um. So they had early access for Hades 2 back in 2023. And what's this technical test? I don't know.